Ventura County and beyond, and welcome to the VC Sportsplex here in Ventura, California. It is the start of the home PDL campaign as the Ventura County Fusion take on the San Jose Earthquakes U-23 team. My name is Danny Page. Pleasure to be with you here at the VC Sportsplex. The Sportsplex, of course, this year and this week really has already hosted a thrilling contest involving the Ventura County Fusion, the 2-1 victory for Fusion in the U.S. Open Cup match on Wednesday. They have advanced to the second round. We'll talk about that plenty tonight, but let us focus on the here and now. The PDL season, it's underway. Fusion 3-0 losers, unfortunately, a week ago to the OC Padiadores Blues. The Blues, the better team on the day, and now Fusion will really need to rise to the occasion if they are to get off the mark in the league. They still have yet to score a league goal, and if they are to take all 3 points today. The San Jose Earthquakes U-23 team, we'll talk about them. It's a configuration of their academy players along with college players, much like we have here on the PDL side of things for the Ventura County Fusion. For Fusion, a number of changes in the starting lineup. We will get to that momentarily, but we will take a breath ourselves and listen in on our national anthem.
You see backgrounds early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flood. O'er the ramparts we walked, were so gallantly streaming, and the Rockies strengthened, both bursting in air, came through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, St. John's, that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the free.
A fine rendition and a nice way to get the Premier Development League home campaign started. My name is Danny Page with you for this key PDL match live from the VC Sportsplex. And it is funny that I say, oh, it's a key Premier Development League game, when really we haven't even played a home game yet in the league. Most teams haven't played a home game yet in the league. But when you lose your opener 3-0 away in this ultra-competitive Southwest Division, that is exactly what can happen. Let's get to the starting lineups now for the San Jose Earthquakes U-23 team. Jesus Guzman in goal, Gabriel Silvera, Jose Diaz, Devontae DuBose, and Martin Roman along the back. Jairo Aguino, Julio Cervantes, Christian Carranza, Matt Sheldon patrol the midfield. And it is Nicholas Cashmere and the number 10, Matt Weisenfarth, up front. Missing from the Fusion lineup, a couple of key attackers from the other night, Kennedy Chongo and Peter Gregory. Rested tonight for the Ventura County Fusion. They start the game on the bench. You see Fusion breaking their huddle, if you will. Ventura County wearing the all whites in a home match, which is rare. They will move from right to left. The starters for the Fusion, Trey Mitchell in goal, a pretty solid performance in that U.S. Open Cup tie on Wednesday night. Kip Colby, Evan Kenny Goyer, Tony Alfaro, and Javin Torre, the U.S. U-20 international, along the back. That center half pairing of Torre and Alfaro could really be outstanding. In the midfield, we'll see how much direction there is. It seems to be a bit more defensive group than we saw the other night. Augustine Casares, Steve Palacios, Matt LaGrassa, and James Kiffey. Johnny Lopez and Dan Delgado start up front, and we are underway here. Danny Page with you. A partnership with Caps TV for Ventura County Fusion. Great what this crew is bringing to us here as we bring you the opening home match of the season. It's Fusion Quakes, and it's live here on Ventura County Fusion's YouTube channel, as well as eventually live on Caps TV, working well with the Caps group this season. A lot of fun to put these broadcasts together. Opening minute, foul called, and it'll be interesting to see what the Quakes can, I don't know, bring to the table here. They're really just getting started. I do see this as being an ultra talented roster, though. That's my thought, to say the least, is that they will have quality players all over the pitch. It just depends who is with the senior team, who is down, if you will, with the PDL team. But the Southwest Division, really the Western Conference, just seems to be, to me at least, incredibly loaded. Nicholas Cashmere chases that down, and then Tony Alfaro knocks it out of play. So it looks like Javin Torrey there, who you see picking up the ball right now, the UCLA Bruin Torrey, who missed the Open Cup match in midweek. It looks like Javin Torrey will actually play at the left back spot. Kip Colby over on the right. And a long throw coming in, right toward the spot. Alfaro with a fine header away. Here's Johnny Lopez, who will need to clear. Spins towards his own goal, and then sends that across the pitch. Off to James Kiffey, the UCSB product. Kiffey back to Evan Kenny Guyer, and then that's hit down the pitch. For Fusion, one thing they have to get away from, giving up early goals. They've conceded twice in the first 20 minutes in their opening 2 games, 1 goal per game, just to clarify. They also need to make sure to minimize any mistakes at the back. You just can't gift goals, and that's exactly what happened on Wednesday night. For those of you watching with us, it was really a pleasure to call that game for you. A fun match between Fusion and CD Aguiluchos, USA. Here's Torrey showing off his footwork. He's always been a taller, stronger, big central defender, and in some ways target forward if you wanted him to be. But we'll see him deputizing out on the left now. And with how much Kip Colby goes forward, it really might end up being 3 at the back. Here's Kenny Guyer forward to Lopez. Johnny Lopez just sensational in the second half of that match. Tries to bomb one over the top, but it's too far. This 7 p.m. kickoff, I think one interesting thing that we'll see here throughout the season for Ventura County Fusion, considering this is a 7 o'clock kickoff, all home games kicking off at 7. It will start quite sunny by halftime. The sun will begin to set, and then darkness will engulf the pitch for much of the conclusion, although that will change as we build towards the solstice. Fusion are in Tucson solstice weekend, by the way. I thought I might as well just point that out. Feel free to interact with us on Twitter. I'll be monitoring the Twitter account. Your comments are welcomed and appreciated. Same thing on the YouTube channel. We enjoy the interaction here at the Ventura County Fusion, and we want you to be a part of this broadcast today. Again, my name is Danny Page, bringing you the call on this fine Friday night in Southern California. Taken away by the Quakes. Hit over the top. Looking for Nicholas Cashmere. Torrey back to pick up the pieces to Tony Alfaro. Ooh, living a bit dangerously from Tony. You really need to credit Tony Alfaro, though, for the way he stepped up in that second half and just played some brilliant soccer. Here's Torrey. Now head to Augustine Casares, who was also a real key player in that 2-1 win. For Fusion to concede a goal in the opening 5 minutes of a U.S. Open Cup match, and then limit a team with 3 former El Salvador internationals for the remainder of the fixture, that's pretty special. That really was an outstanding team performance. Obviously, we talk about the attacking quartet of Kiffey and Portsmouth FC Academy player in the past, Peter Gregory, Kennedy Chongo, who I would say has PDL fame over the years, and then James Kiffey. We talked so much about that attacking quartet the other night, but really in the end, it's the fact that Fusion didn't concede again. It was Trey Mitchell, Tony Alfaro. It was Steve Palacios who came on in midfield as well. It was the back seven, if you will, that really made such a massive difference. Fusion just sort of resorting to a long ball at this point. This is the first of two in 2 days for the San Jose Earthquakes. Fusion probably like it a bit more if it was the second of two. Seeking out the on-rushing James Kiffey, number 20. We'll see him all over the field tonight, then played out to Javin Torrey. Torrey has Lopez just in front of him. Torrey sliding to the center of the park. Now that's off to Matt LaGrassa, the Cal Poly product. His first performance of the season for the squad. Here's Johnny Lopez. Lopez trying to hammer by his defender, but Devontae Dubose was game. Now Lopez with it again. Lopez back to Fusion. Bearing down in the center, and the shot's deflected out. Corner kick coming. That was in fact the aforementioned James Kiffey. He'll play on the right, he'll play on the left, he'll play everywhere really. Corner kick coming. And over to take it is Steve Palacios. Here's Palacios, right-footed corner, back post. You could head it back across. San Jose controlling it nicely. And now a diagonal ball over the top, which will be scooped up nicely by the goalkeeper, Jesus Guzman. Nicholas Kashmir, who's looked quite dangerous so far, sifts that off as we're kind of meandering through these opening few minutes. 9th minute now, Fusion again unable to get it out of their own half, and this has been a considerable problem. Room over the top, and he could have made it 1-0, Kashmir. Fusion were staring down a deficit. Yet again, they've trailed for what? The predominance of their last 2 games. Nearly could have there. Bearing down that left-hand side now, Gabriel Silveira, the first time we've seen him move forward. And at the end line, slide tackle out of play. And that'll be a goal kick for the Ventura County Fusion. So let's reset these opening 10 minutes here as Fusion take on the San Jose Earthquakes U-23 team. Remember, this is the opening match for the Quakes U-23 side. They are obviously, the franchise as a whole is obviously quite excited to bring this new team into the Premier Development League, and with the addition of the Quakes U-23 side, as that goal kick is blasted down the field, with the addition of the Quakes U-23 team and with the creation of the Mobsters in Las Vegas as well, it's created a reformation, a change of the composition of the Western Conference. There are now 3 divisions. The Western Conference is the only conference that looks that way in the PDL. There, of course, is obviously the Central Conference, the Eastern and the Southern. And as we look at things now in the Southwest Division, well, last year the BYU Cougars and FC Tucson were involved. And now this year, those two have moved over to a separate division within the Western Conference, the Mountain Division. The Southwest Division includes the Patagones Blues, the Quakes, the Missioneros, the Fuego, the Seahorses, and the Fusion, whereas the Mountain consists of the BYU Cougars, the Mobsters, another new team, if I'm not mistaken, the Albuquerque Soul, the Real Colorado Foxes, and FC Tucson. Fuego have played once already, 0 points, same for Fusion. Patagones Blues sit atop the league. Should say atop the division. I'm just used to saying league, basically. Remember, the PDL is a 64-team league. And here's Delgado. Delgado into the area, sweeps it back, chance to make it 1-0, and yes! Fusion on the board first. Matt LaGrassa, not a dozen minutes into his Ventura County Fusion season, one of his first touches. And how do you like that? 1-0, Ventura County, LaGrassa. I'd say that's not a bad way to start the season. Wouldn't you? Matt LaGrassa? He's hardly been in training with Ventura County Fusion. Obviously for LaGrassa, playing at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, that is a 2.5-hour drive down to these parts. Maybe you could cut it down to 2:15 or so. So it's very difficult to come down for training. For Ventura County Fusion, LaGrassa, who is a Fusion veteran, it was well worth the wait, and it's 1-0. The first half goal of the season for Ventura County Fusion. That is pretty important and pretty impressive. Long one, down the pitch again. Palacios, well taken. Here's Delgado for Palacios. Palacios, great one-touch. Kiffy in the area, now falls for Lopez. Lopez needs to do something with it. Gets tangled up on the far side, and it'll go out, but it's a corner kick for the Ventura County Fusion. Not a bad start here, is it? Matt LaGrassa, the Big West first team player following his sophomore year from Pleasant Grove High School in Elk Grove, California. Here's Lopez's corner. It's deep again, headed down well, but it's nothing but Quakes defenders there. Cazares back to it. Kiffy tries to hold it in the area, if you will. Delgado. Quakes U-23 central defense is under some pressure, to say the least. Here's Alfaro. Alfaro plays that to Cazares. Cazares to Kiffy. Fusion surely with the predominance of possession. And now here's Kiffy. Nice little touch for Palacios, who to me was so impressive coming on as a second half substitute. Kip Colby's taken down. Should have been a foul. Yes, it is a foul called. It was a big gamble from Rudy Ibarra, the head coach of the Ventura County Fusion, making 2 halftime substitutions in the U.S. Open Cup match. the other night. You frequently make halftime substitutions at the PDL level because you have 6 changes. In the US Open Cup, you only have 3. So if you make 2, left with just 1. Chongo came on, Palacios came on, and it paid massive dividends. Left-footed free kick. Kiffy! And it goes off the top of the bar. I know looks can be quite deceiving when playing a match like this at a football stadium, and you frequently think that a ball like that actually hits the football crossbar. No, I assure you, it hit the top of the soccer crossbar. And just beyond the quarter hour, it remains 1-0 Fusion. But Ventura County has settled in. They are rather bossing the game. Although we've seen him hit before on the counterattack this year. I'd like to add Dan Delgado, a late substitution for the Ventura County Fusion the other night, and he has been mightily impressive. Here's Delgado again in the area. Hit back to Cazares, and that's blocked away. Now looking to get their attacking thrust going. Torrey wins that, bounces off his hand. Referee says it's incidental. It clearly did his hand. Here's Cazares. Cazares over top. Lopez and the ref in a foot race, and Lopez is offside. I meant the goalie, Guzman. I was already stuck on that handball. It did look like a clear handball. A perfect angle from up here. 17th minute now. Fusion maintaining this 1-0 advantage here. This broadcast, a product of Fusion and Caps TV. There you are. Here's Dan Delgado. Look at the number 9, the forward playing that far back. Interesting. Tony Alfaro. Alfaro over to Javin. And Torrey plays that out. Throw in coming. Love to have a look at your comments. Please send them in to us via Twitter. But also like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram at Ventura County Fusion. Or, of course, this YouTube channel. My name is Danny Page, Communications Director for the Ventura County Fusion, and thanks to all of you for tuning into this live broadcast. There will be an archived version and highlights to come also over the weekend, an added bonus of our new coverage here. Just the beginning in some ways. Cazares to Palacios. And taken to the ground is Delgado, and Delgado wins the free kick. He really has been impressive, hasn't he? Gotta hand it to Steve Palacios too, number 18, who ditched the ball off there. And Palacios, he was outstanding in that second half. A teasing ball in. Fusion players with a handball shout. I don't think so, even if it did hit the hand. It was surely against the body. Here's Kiffy again. Lopez tries to reach that on the cutback, but it trickles through to the Quakes goalkeeper. Is it just me, or through these entire 20 minutes has the ball really been in the attacking half of the Ventura County Fusion? I know Quakes had a small opportunity or two early on, and now they'll move to the long ball. Here's Colby. Parents were watching the match from New Zealand the other night. It's only 16 hours ahead. Javin Torrey. Now back to Torrey. Swings it across to Kenny Guyer. It's Evan, his first name. Alfaro. Augustine Cazares. He is a fleet-footed yet deep-lying defensive midfielder. Torrey's pulled back, and that's a free kick. I really see Cazares more as a defensive midfielder than anything. Interesting because he's a smaller player. Reminds me in some ways, Fusion fans, just a bit of Jake Husted. Here's Delgado. Kiffy. Nice close control, but not nice enough, and it's turned back over to the opposite side. And now the Quakes with a little bit of possession in their own half, just a moment or two. I think that's what they need, just really calm things down, kind of slowly go to work. You're just trailing by 1. We're only 20 minutes in. Not even. 19 minutes and 50 seconds in. But nonetheless, long ball down the field. Seeking out on that right side. Devontae DeBow is the left back. He's gone pretty far forward. Well won by Johnny Lopez. Confusion started counter. Lopez creates some space and doesn't create enough room for LaGrassa to get that pass. Hit back to the goalkeeper, Jesus Guzman. Guzman's had more airtime than anybody for the Earthquakes. Really haven't seen what we would, just generally expect to see from this group. Again, I feel that this is going to be a really talented team this year. They're part of the Quakes setup, obviously. In this 25th season, isn't that hard to believe? It really is, the Premier Development League. Number 8 for the Ventura County Fusion. Working the left side, Kiffy through for Palacios. A little bit of hesitant defending by Jose Diaz. Fusion, as we said, in the 12th minute. Just a dozen it took them to get off the mark in this match. First goal of the PDL season. Penalty kick was saved. And now a foul called on Tony Alfaro. Hands up, he acknowledges and apologizes. Really all in one motion. Christian Carranza takes the free kick. Probably could have sent that into the area, right? You have to think when opportunities really are not coming, you go to set pieces. Deflected, and to Trey Mitchell, who bobbles that, and I think it went out for a corner kick. Trey. Trey Mitchell, the goalie for Fusion. Once a Chivas USA U-23 player. And now here comes the right-footed corner. Great opportunity for the Quakes to really pull something from nothing. Low delivery. That's an understatement, low and short. Popped in the air, Mitchell can make amends, and he does. Assesses his options and just decides to wait up. Now Torrey, and it's swept underneath Torrey's feet, although it did touch him last. Throw in as Quakes control it. They're just being forced to play back into their own half. After that free kick and a couple long balls, though, can Quakes really just move around the focal point? I think that's what they're going to be looking to do, is moving around the exact spot where their attack starts. And this one's off to Devontae DeBow. Played over to the right side now to Kashmir. Back to DeBow, who looks a really talented individual. Not listed on their official PDL roster on their website, of course, which makes me think he's part of the senior setup as well, something to look into. I hadn't anticipated him being in the lineup today. And that is, yes, of course, true. Devontae DeBow. Just beyond halfway through the first half here. Ventura County Fusion taking on the San Jose Earthquakes in a key PDL match. It's the first ever match, though, for this group, the San Jose Earthquakes U-23 team. And for Fusion, their third of the season. Flag goes up, and as we pop back and take a look, the third of the season for Fusion in total, second in the PDL. Remember, they lost the opener to the OC Padiadores Blues, 3-0. Fell behind in the 20th minute, A miscommunication at the back made it 2-0, and Fusion really lost the game from there. Had a penalty save, had the ball hit off the inside of the post thanks to James Kiffey. I think Fusion were very much encouraged by the way they closed that match. And they went out in the Open Cup, gave up a goal in the 5th minute, which is really just inexcusable in my mind. They've recovered well. Started the season by conceding 4. Now they've scored 3 straight without conceding. Chipped over the top for Lopez, and he's offside. Definitely. Just to clarify on Dubose, is part of the senior setup, went to Bishop O'Dowd High School. A basketball power as well in the Bay Areas from Berkeley. '26th minute now, and it looks like we have a little knock. Players taken on the far side of the field. I can't see a number right now at this point. Just sort of limping over the bench, holding the backside of his right leg. And now we will have a change here. Our first change of the evening. A forced change for Quakes. And remember, as I said, there are 6 changes available to each side. This isn't, you know, what we went through the other night. Yeah, Jose Diaz is the player coming off. And Gustavo Silva comes on for the Quakes. That's unfortunate. He'll go straight to the training room, Jose Diaz. You could just feel a bit of a knock, I think. Back of his leg. And they're looking at him, Fusion staff stretching him out a bit. But at that point, it's just better safe than sorry, isn't it? Jose Diaz, former member of the Missioneros, actually. The rival of Fusion, who will probably become a rival at some point. Of the Earthquakes. And Fusion are set to make a change as well now, too. Interesting, 2 changes in 28 minutes in this match. Find it a little bit surprising. And it looks like they're both through injuries. Johnny Lopez is running off just a little gingerly. And the truth with a substitution like that is you have a long trip to Sacramento coming up. You're on your 2nd game in 3 days. Fusion, of course, will go to Sac Republic. And here's the free kick, left-footed. Kiffey! Oh, and it's blasted away by the goalkeeper. Fine job from the goalie to keep that one out, Jesus Guzman. And now Javentori plays it off for a corner, but Kiffey with a sweet hit on that free kick. Score remains 1-0, but Fusion threatening time after time here. Steve Palacios, as the crowd really starts to get behind this team, set to take this free kick. Here's Palacios now. Another deep corner, looking to send it back in. Delgado with a soft touch, one time, and it's deflected out. Javentori was behind that, had to dig it out, but it looked like it would have been on target. A fine attempt as we have reached the 30th minute. Let's see what Kiffey can do on the left-footed corner. Again, it's high and toward the far post, back into the middle, and that was going in as well. Would have been a fine first touch from Jordan Vale. Now Kiffey, another chance, another cross. Could this be 2-0? Back to the center, nobody there. Cleared barely off the line. Jordan Vale has had 2 brilliant chances to double the advantage for Ventura County. And obviously Johnny Lopez coming off with that injury. You figured Fusion were losing a lot, but Jordan Vale has stepped in and really played well in these opening couple minutes. Fusion disappointed not to be 2-0 in front. Really some quality defending, I think it has to be said. Played back to the goalkeeper. The PDL home opener for the Ventura County Fusion. And that one hit over the top. Dan Delgado, he's been great. And actually, pardon me, that's Steve Palacios. Delgado and Palacios, both quality. Of course, the season continues through July 11th, at least in these parts. 7 home games for Ventura County Fusion in the league. 1 in the cup as well. If Fusion can beat Sacramento, they'll have another cup home match. But obviously, for those of us that really follow and enjoy the PDL and follow and enjoy the teams involved, I think it was great news today that the United Soccer Leagues announced the PDL Plus, the fall season that starts in 2015. Something that would really be enjoyed around these parts, I think, as USL President Tim Holt makes that announcement. There's obviously greater demand for the game, and look at this. Striding down the right-hand side, Tony Alfaro's forced to clear. We saw the pace finally from Matt Sheldon, forward who last played for FC Portland. It's his first major intervention for the most part. Throw in now. And headed away. Into the center, headed clear. A little bit of possession for this Quakes team. Hit hard down the field, Trey Mitchell. Back to Javentori. Here's Alfaro. Cazares. Really come back deep for this one. And maybe he's not a defensive player as much, but the deepest lying player. The goal scorer, LaGrassa, loses control. Here's Sheldon into the center, and there's Alfaro again. He just seems to get this team out of so many sticky situations, specifically the other night. Cazares plays a 1-2. Not the way he would have drawn it up. Alfaro, they'll send it back to his goalkeeper now. As we continue our coverage of this Premier Development League match, Fusion and Quakes, and it's live, youtube.com/VC Fusion. Nice header forward from Kenny Guyer. Off to Jordan Vale, substitute. Johnny Lopez left injured. Vale making a nice run as Javentori. And Vale's pushed from behind. There's Torrey. I didn't know Torrey had this agility in his game. I didn't know he had the fine footwork. to go along with his solid defense. But he's a fine addition, and now Fusion will set up in a fine position for this free kick. Dangerous again. Torrey plays it short and then gets it back. A little training ground exercise there. Torrey to Cazares. And now seeking out Torrey, who is offside. So late decision from the referee. "36th minute. Who will score next, I think, is the question. Quake's getting into the game more and more. Here's Nicholas Kashmir. Kashmir showing pace, and Alfaro slips behind him. What a cheeky move to steal that off him. Here's Cazares. Dan Delgado brings it in. Jordan Vale now. Vale could have hit Kiffey instead. Keeps the ball at his feet. Defender bearing down, but it's Cazares now. Back to Augustine Cazares. Fusion really feeling the possession more and more in this PDL match. Colvey, whose name we haven't called in a minute. Palacios from La Grassa, the goal scorer. Here is La Grassa. La Grassa loses out. Chipped forward. Tony Alfaro. Boy, he's been great over these last 90 minutes, really. Coming alive in that second half, defensively. Quake set to make another change. 2 of 6. I'm not sure if it's a forced substitution through injury or just something tactically that they would like to change up the Earthquakes over the final 8 minutes. Here's Kip Colvey. La Grassa, Cazares, Palacios. Delgado has to hold things up. Now hits for Palacios. 9 behind the ball for San Jose. Nice intervention by Sheldon to keep the ball from getting to Torrey. Here's Kiffey into the area. Looks to cut it back, and it might have hit Kiffey last. Nope, they'll give corner kick Ventura County Fusion. I want to say this is 5 corner kicks for Fusion. And each one has gone beyond the far post, high in the air. I think Fusion like their opportunities on that second ball, if you will. They want to send it deep, head it back to the center, and then have an opportunity to add to their tally.
Oh, you mean right-footed corner. He should be.
And here we go, sent through the center, a short corner kick, shorter, and that's hit away. Daniel Kaczynski, the substitute, coming on now for the Quakes. They do need to change things up, that much I'll admit. Here's Kiffey again, trying to wheel around Kaczynski. And I love that maneuver from Fusion. Have your speediest player going against the guy that just came on. And Matt Sheldon had maneuvered out of play. Here's Cazares. Palacios now. Kip Colvey. Back to Palacios. Augustine Cazares. A deep hit. Guzman comes out and gets it.
You think they come and watch?
Pleasure to have you with us here. My name is Danny Page. 1-0 in the 40th minute. The Ventura County Fusion lead the San Jose Earthquakes. Big thanks to our local Caps TV crew. Great working with these guys. Community access partners of San Buenaventura. Believe in the Fusion, believe in the PDL. And we're excited to bring you all of our home matches here on the Fusion channel, online. And for Fusion fans watching at home, you can check it out later on Caps Channel 6. Foul called. Fusion go right to work. Here's Delgado. Palacios. Over to La Grassa.
From ASO U18?
Back to Alfaro. Now Dan Delgado. Delgado looked like he was shoved from behind. In the 41st minute, Earthquakes getting a little bit more physical with things. Maybe that's part of their strategy. If they can't match the speed and footwork of Fusion, then they go to a more brutish approach. Not that I would blame them, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. When your forward is called for yet another foul, Nicholas Kashmir, well, then you have some issues. Tony Alfaro will take this, and it looks like he's going to do so quickly. Here's Kip Colvey. Colvey forward to Kiffey. Colvey and Kiffey, huh? Here's Colvey. Through to the penalty area. Delgado to Deke. Little fake shot. And he just couldn't create his second opportunity that he was looking for. 42nd minute now here at the Ventura College Sportsplex. Fusion surely want to avoid giving up one now, but really the same thing goes for the opposing side. On the other end, Quakes could very well be 2-0 down at this point, and that's exactly what they're looking to avoid. Here's Alfaro. Blasts that one ahead. Central defender with a couple issues. And look at the pace from Dan Delgado, too. Really pester the central defender. Out to Devontae DeBose, the left back. And two Fusion defenders do close. Throw in coming here in the 43rd. Javentori loses it at his feet, but they'll say he was fouled. Shoved, will the ref? And we have just about 2 minutes of regular time left. Free kick coming for Fusion. Hey, it's early in the season for me too. Come on. My name is Danny Page. I'm the Director of Communications for Ventura County Fusion. I was the play-by-play commentator for 4 years for this franchise. Happy to have rejoined the group, if you will. We'll be bringing you all home games live. A lot of people have asked if the Sacramento game will be streamed. We are in communication with Sac Republic and hoping something can be done to bring the match to Fusion fans all over. Great audience on Wednesday. It was my pleasure to bring you what was really a fun and entertaining game. And a nice win, mind you, for those of us that work for this organization. Into the center and then hit deep down the field. Martin Ramon up to Kashmir, really deep lying forward. San Jose can't get it out of their own half at this point, creating some trouble. Cazares, Delgado. Delgado probably sweeps it left. Yeah, he does. Here's Jordan Vale. Normally a forward, playing a bit wide to the left. Came on for the injured Johnny Lopez, and we should have a corner kick and do. So a set piece, 30 seconds toward the end of regular time in the opening half. Perhaps Fusion can double it. They've looked dangerous on corners. Javin Torrey, solid target player. Tony Alfaro as well. Taken short. Vale slaps that one in. Torrey was tracking it. It was just a bit too low for him. And a throw in now as we reach the section of added time. It'll be 2 minutes here in this half. 2 minutes of added time. We'll take a break at halftime. Grab a drink of water, have a snack, and be back with a quick recap and the second half of play here as Ventura County Fusion lead 1-0. Happy to bring you this broadcast in conjunction with our partners at CAPS. My name is Danny Page. 2 minutes of added time. A goal kick coming for the Ventura County Fusion. I mean, you really do have to be pleased with the performance if you are a Fusion fan. I know I am. San Jose Earthquakes, I expect more from them as the season goes along. Flag stays down, great opportunity. Delgado, and Delgado just can't get it out of his feet. The second chance is saved. Jordan Vale just didn't have enough on it. Delgado just swung at the opportunity to make it 2-zip and couldn't get enough power behind that one. Here's Christian Carranza, the midfielder, been rather quiet in the center of the park. I think that's part of the issue. Fusion are just bossing the game in midfield. Absolutely doing so. Dangerous teasing cross, and Trey Mitchell is there. Covers up. He will likely hammer it forward, and that will likely conclude this first half. And it does. A dozen minutes in, Matt LaGrassa strikes for the Ventura County Fusion. And Fusion lead 1-0 at the break. A quality performance from the Ventura County Fusion. Quakes still looking to really kick-start their season. It is the first half of football this section of the franchise has ever played. The first half, the PDL section of the franchise has really ever played. We'll take a timeout here on the home of the Ventura County Fusion, CAPS TV, in conjunction with the Fusion, and we'll be back in about a dozen minutes with the second half.
Nobody's gonna be able to do. What? This has never been like this.
All right. If you make it in the blue hula, you get a free Chick-fil-A sandwich. If you make it in the goal past the Fuji box, you get a free ticket to the future Fuji game. So box, you're going to be hanging out right here. If you make it in the pink hula right here, this is a coupon to the Ventura Sandwich Company on Loma Vista. That place is awesome. That's for a free sandwich. If you make it in this room right here, this is a day trip for two to the Channel Islands via Island Packers that was provided by the Ventura Chamber of Commerce. If you make it in this room right here, I'll make it a little closer. You win a $20 gift certificate to Snapper Jacks, located right over here on Toho. And also the grand prize, if you make it in this beautiful toilet, you win $100. All right, man, get your balls ready and launch them. DJ, give me some music. Whoa!
Horrible. They're all going
Hey, watch right there on that goal.
Everybody's going for the goal.
Hey, watch! Someone hit the toilet. There's only one winner on the toilet. Watch!
One person got
See, we got one winner over there in the green room.
Oh, it has to be in?
Now we got a rocket. Oh, we got a chance. So far, we got one green room. I'm the Packers today. Oh, hey. Awesome. So we made it with a free music ticket. Ooh. Superstar. Now, don't stand by the $100. All right, we got about 3 minutes left. No, about 2 minutes. Get your ball on the field. Oh, that's a good chance. Not quite. Anybody else? I know we have more balls out there.
Hit him. He's trying to hit him.
Keep them coming.
Oh, somebody got in the pink one.
No prize if you hit the cow. Anybody else? I see balls in your hands. Let's go. We got a few more minutes. Oh, there's one. There we go. Oh. So far, we have one person going to the Channel Islands. Looks like we have a sandwich winner. Yes. In the pink room. There's $100 cost. Is it in? Not quite. All right, we got Gab trying to win $100. I advise the bounce. That's your best bet. Oh! I can see my boss getting nervous with a $100 target. All right. Anybody else? All right, I see that young lady with some balls. All right. Anybody? Oh, we got a retry. Not quite. Okay, last ball. 30 seconds left. Anybody else? Okay. We've got Island Packers all 369. Hey kids, put it in that bucket right there. Somebody's right. Can you grab that? And then we have all 399 for a free sandwich. All right, that's you. Okay. And we have some kids sitting on the foot. That was loose, by the way. I got it at the crystal. All right. Fusion fans, thank you for playing Launch Ball. We're going to do this promotion at all of our home games. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully we get some winners. And enjoy the rest of
they missed every time.
You do that?
Summer, the future committee of PDL team players and coaches. They'll be held throughout the 2014 summer season. We're open to children ages 3 to 14 and of all experience levels. And the camp series provides players with a unique, fun, and affordable opportunity to learn a broad range of soccer skills. We want to check out the dates and registration information. Visit us at the website at bcfusion.com. Once again, that's bcfusion.com.
Not down, but like.
Sign up for a summer camp today.
He just caught it in his shirt. That's why I'm trying to speak louder. I have food in my mouth. I don't cough like you do. You know how like you don't learn the math on a test. Correct? You like the test. You learn it somewhere else. Learn the math that voice crack. Yeah.
I do. I learned some stuff.
Yeah.
Some people don't have their black, some people don't have their
Hey buddy, you want to come up and say "Go Fusion" into the microphone? Come on. Yeah. Set. I just realized that's a mic. Yeah. That's a mic. So they've been hearing me. It's broadcasting on live TV. I think. That would be funny. I think it is. I doubt it.
Leo has a special message for all you fans out there. Take it away, Leo. Go Fusion, attaboy, Leo. Future PA announcer. Saying I hold as a Spider-Man sweatshirt. Thank you, Leo.
Thank you.
I think it has. What? I think it has.
I heard you!
Video camera, I see.
Good job, Eddie.
Oh, there's one over there.
Yeah.
But still, I think if they're catching some of our voices, that's awesome. Oh, take your gum out when you eat chips. That's like, what?
Because then the food gets all in your gums. That's disgusting. You're still gonna get a little bit. Get it back.
That'd be hilarious.
Welcome back to the Ventura College Sportsplex. My name is Danny Page. As the Ventura County Fusion lead the San Jose Earthquakes U-23 team 1-0 as we get set to start the second half. Fusion and Quakes. Ventura County struck in the 12th minute behind Matt LaGrassa. His opening match for Fusion this season, although he is a returner from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. And LaGrassa, 12 minutes into his debut, he's hardly even trained with the team. Obviously, considering the drive from San Luis Obispo is not easy. Gets Fusion off the mark in the league. It's their only league goal so far. Goal difference still -2, but that's neither here nor there. They lead and are in position to get their first 3 points of the season against the team that I think many expected to be very talented and composed of a lot of MLS reserves, which is the case. And I'm not saying they aren't very talented, they're just kind of warming up. The San Jose Earthquakes U-23 team. Let's see what they can do. Let's see what Fusion can do. Arguably their top 2 attacking players are on the bench and warming up. Peter Gregory from the Portsmouth FC Academy. He was just training with Charlton Athletic in the UK. And then Kennedy Chongo as well. A famous attacking player when it comes to the Premier Development League. Really excited by the news, mind you, of PDL Plus, the launch of the late summer and fall season of the Premier Development League. Pretty awesome stuff to know that there will be an extended league campaign for those who want to get involved. Tim Holt, United Soccer Leagues, announcing that today. Great news. Good work, guys. Boys out in Tampa.
I take a selfie. No.
And we're just about set to start the second half of play. The referee charges out to the center circle. Fusion will kick off. They move from left to right. Dan Delgado and Steve Palacios will kick. Fusion will move from left to right. The final 45 minutes of this regular season match underway here at the Sportsplex. See, just like I told you, day has turned to night. It really happens during halftime at this point in the calendar. Happens rather quickly. Speaking of quickly, here's Kiffy. The UCSB product bombing down that right-hand side toward the end line. Cut to the center. Can Palacios get to it? No, fine defending, although not the greatest clearance, and then finally punched out of the area. Here's Kip Colvey, right back from New Zealand. 10 San Luis Obispo as well to Dan Delgado. Delgado with a little cutback, but it was for no one in particular. And the Fusion looking very precise to start this contest. Javantori, the US U20 product and UCLA Bruin, had a great first half at the left back spot. I think you have to credit the entire back line, really. Foul called and a booking, yellow card. Flying elbow as Evan Kenny Guyer, who played at Redlands. Was really smacked in the face, basically. And Matthew Sheldon picks up a yellow card. Tony Alfaro to take the free kick, and does. A little too deep for anybody, all the way to the goalie, who was a busy man, by the way, Jesus Guzman, for the Earthquakes U-23 side. Header forward. Will Steve Palacios get there first? Really turning on the Jets. It'll be interesting to see who Fusion bring on next, considering they just played 48 hours ago. A tense U.S. Open Cup tie. They head to Sacramento on Tuesday. And then another away match against Missioneros. Who knows, that could be followed by another home match in the Open Cup. Delgado through for Palacios. He's clearly onside. Kiffy's touch is too strong, and it's deflected off of Kiffy, and this will allow the Quakes to clear. Knocked forward by LaGrassa, just barely. Nice cut back in the center of the park for Ronza. Back heel, but Torrey's smart to it. And here's Cazares. Augustine Cazares. Kiffy tries to hit Delgado, but it's too strong. I wonder if Fusion could use just an extra little injection of pace from Gregory or Chongo. Chongo's still warming up away to my right. Peter seems ready to roll. Remember, 6 substitutions. Fusion have used 1. Johnny Lopez was removed earlier. Looked to pick up a light injury. I would imagine he'll be ready for the match in midweek. Who would want to miss that? So many connections between the franchises. The technical director, Graham Smith, the championship-winning head coach of Fusion at the time. 2009. The 5-year anniversary this is of the PDL championship, the 2-1 win over the Chicago Fire Reserves. What a game that was, what a moment for this franchise in just its 3rd year of existence to win the Continental Premier Development League championship. Kiffy surely looking most dangerous, but again, how long can Kiffy sustain? Given the fact that he played the full 90 the other night, really for a lot of these players. Some of the players on the back line gave the full 90 the other night, and then just 2 days later, even though they are quite youthful individuals, you eventually run out of gas, don't you? At some point you tire. I know I do, although I would fall into the over 23 category of this league. Colby to Kenny Goyer. And back to Kip. Some cute little passing, really, among the midfield. Now Palacios seeks out Jordan Vale. And a nice clearance, very physical, strong approach from the center half for the Quakes to knock the ball off of the on-rushing Vale. And now it is cleared downfield by Gustavo Silva, substitute Silva. A couple injuries for this Quakes team. And a foul called. Sliding in is Colby. Say he fouled Matt Sheldon, who's already on a yellow.
I guess Skittles.
Sheldon kicked out at his opponent. I wouldn't say kicked out. gave him a shove in the leg after the foul. I wouldn't say it's worth a booking, just merely pointing out Sheldon is on a yellow card at this
Do you
point.
like my Skittles? Because I like yours.
Nobody says
Off to the center, Cervantes.
kind of annoying.
Vino hits it off to the right side. The cross, and Trey Mitchell, easy does it.
Were you born on a freeway? Because that's where most accidents happen.
Really haven't had a ton to do, have they? The Fusion central defense and their goalkeeper. But maybe that's because of what this center back pairing
Were you a beaver?
and the midfielders in front of him have accomplished.
It's just like, man, you took the ball back.
In the 53rd minute now, Matt Sheldon plays that one back to Christian Carranza. And again, as I look at the way I've looked at this game and the commentary that has come along with it, it seems like the Quakes midfielders have really just been rather invisible. Names that haven't been called at all. Julio Cervantes,
Great bait, mate, rate.
Aguino,
out at
Carranza. When your central midfielders are playing a very small part in a match as far as control of the ball, that means you're playing a small part as far as control of the match. Here's the forward, Nicholas Kashmir. Nice ball, Kashmir to Sheldon. Actually, was a bit too strong. Swept out wide right side, looking to cross. Unable to do so, but he does earn a throw-in. Saw a tweet coming in to me directly. You can also send me a tweet at dpage805. Daniel Torres asked some time ago, sorry Dan, what formation is the Fusion playing? Seems like they have too many in the middle of the park and not enough wide. It's an interesting look that Rudy Ibarra has put out there with this Fusion team. I go back to the US Open Cup match as the cross is deflected and Alfaro forced to clear and does so with authority. I go back to the US Open Cup match for this Fusion team, and it really in some ways ended up being sort of a 4-2-4, a 4-2-2-2, with two central midfielders, two defensive midfielders, basically, two wingers, and then two forwards up top. There's a lot of interplay in the midfield. There is a lot of movement, changing positions. Seems like a lot of players sort of have a free run. Kiffy's one of them, and he's on the ball now. Kiffy with a soft little pass over to LaGrassa. They, of course, come from rival schools. Well, I don't think they played against each other. It's a great rivalry, Cal Poly and UCSB in soccer. Absolutely packed those stadiums for those games. Nice touch from Vale, who's also a Kiwi, along with Colby. Hit to the center. Palacios trying to catch up to it.
How come I can't do
Here's
it?
LaGrassa.
I rock climb. That doesn't make
LaGrassa
any sense.
to Vale.
I game.
Vale tries to get around his defender and can't. And in the 56th minute, game in a bit of a lull, and I'm just wondering, just curious if this is the right time to bring on an attacking substitute, maybe just make a change, a lateral change, some fresh legs. Could really benefit this squad, I think, and perhaps give them what they need to claim all 3 points. Just a suggestion. Here's Kiffy. Fine footwork from Kiffy. Reaches out and collects that. Actually, just for a second. And he seems to be slowing down just a little, but Kiffy is sort of the straw that stirs the drink for this Fusion team. They were slow and ineffective in some ways in the opening half, the opening match against Padiadores Blues. He came on and again brought things to life. Jesus Guzman with the long clearance. Javentori's been a little quiet in this half. It's back to Trey Mitchell. Slaps that one a good 50, 60 yards. And here's Kiffy. Oh, I think he heard me say something about him slowing down a little. Kid just knows how to run. Except that one's too hard for Jordan Vale, and it will be a throw-in for the San Jose Earthquakes.
Got it.
58th minute now, as Fusion become really comfortable with this 1-0 lead, and I'm not sure that that's exactly the best thing at this point in the match. I'm really not sure that that's exactly the approach you want to take at this point in the season. Great wide shot here of this field, which is so well illuminated, and now Delgado through to him. But it's touched back to Jesus Guzman, whose name we've said about 1 million times, where again, as I said, the midfielders we've hardly even discussed. The midfield players have had very little to do with this game. At least for the San Jose Earthquakes. Almost at the hour mark here on your home for Fusion Soccer. Great having you with us on our YouTube channel. Big thanks to the Caps crew, of course, and what they're doing to help make this all happen. But what I was saying, that with a 1-0 lead, when you've had it for a long period of time, Fusion have been 1-0 leaders for 46 plus minutes now. I'll say 47, more like it. You build this false sense of security, especially when you have the predominance of quality chances. And it only takes a goal to allow the opponent to come to life, especially an opponent with a long list of talented players like this Quakes U-23 team. And clearly the Fusion need an injection of pace at this point, and Fusion will get that injection of pace as Kennedy Chongo is set to come on. He was the other halftime substitute, along with Steve Palacios. I also can't imagine Matt LaGrassa would go the full 90. He may be pretty fit, but nonetheless, it's hard not to play either of the first two games and then go out and go for 90. A little chippiness in the middle of the park. Jordan Vale way out of position, but it was absolutely necessary. Turn Cazares, now LaGrassa. Chip over the top from Vale. And Fusion just seemed to have, as I said, maybe lost that cutting edge, resorting to the long ball, a bit of tired legs. And it is most certainly time for a change for this team. Quakes will make a change as well. That'll be their 4th of 6. Really toying with things in the franchise's first foray into the Premier Development League. Kenny Guyer to Kiffy. Tried to hit it down the field, which is good. It'll be interesting to see where Chongo goes, who he comes in for, how he interacts with Jordan Vale. Offside flag is up on Matt Sheldon. Pumps his fist in frustration. And here's a change. Chongo on for Dan Delgado. And I think for Ventura County Fusion fans, really raise your hands and applaud for Dan Delgado. put in a pretty solid shift. Luke Brubaker checks in for Julio Cervantes on the other side. Let's see if Luke Brubaker can do anything to help Quakes earn some sort of strength in the midfield. They've just been unable to. 62nd minute now, mind you.
So we can sit back.
Fine, go get some napkins.
Great to see Kennedy Chongo playing for this franchise. I remember when he played for another Premier Development League team. What was that, 5 years ago? Let's say that was the older incarnation of Orange County Blue Star, Biola. Does my memory serve me correctly? Someone listening that's a Fusion fan or a PDL fan, let me know on Twitter, at VC Fusion, or hit me up at dpage805. Also feel free to comment on our YouTube stream. You guys are more than welcome. It'd be good to hear from you. I think it was OC Blue Star that Chongo was with. Here's Kennedy's first touch of the contest. Holds the ball up well. Breaking down the middle of the field, Palacios. Palacios trying to beat a pair of defenders. Who's first to it? I think Palacios. Actually, the goalkeeper, Guzman, has to bring it down because it was passed back by one of his defenders. And he had to do a little pirouette to clear that. That's not something you see every day in the game of football, is it? Now Quakes trying to push forward. Javentori's called for a foul, a professional one, and he may go into the book for it. A necessary foul, and I wouldn't call it fair unless I were a Fusion fan. Which I am. I just had another look at that back pass from the center back. It was dangerous. But the pirouette. Fine footwork from the goalkeeper. Guzman, dangerous right footer, and Trey Mitchell somehow comes down with it, brought it to the turf, lost control, scooped it up again. That was an important intervention, and now Mitchell's down. Oh, he's been a really crucial addition to this team over the last 2 weeks. He's basically holding his backside, and we're going to have a change, I would anticipate. Sheldon Stainhouse started the opening match, made a little bit of an error, and then Mitchell was brought on. I'm certainly a Stainhouse fan as well. I think they're both very good goalkeepers. And Mitchell went straight to the ground and just started grabbing his lower back. And in these cases with a goalkeeper, it's hard not to bring him off in some ways. He gets to his feet though, good stuff. I'm a big Trey Mitchell fan. He's just really a very positive player. You will remember who he played for last year. FC Hasenthal saved a penalty in that incredible Open Cup game between Hasenthal and Fusion. Fusion again going the direct route in the 66th minute, just hammering that one downfield. Again, my name is Danny Page here on Fusion TV in conjunction with Caps TV. Make sure to visit their website, capstv.org. They do so much for all of Ventura, really. The community access partners of San Buenaventura. They've helped make these broadcasts possible for Fusion fans that may be listening from abroad, around California, around the country. Pay them a visit, make a donation, will you? Because they've been great partners of the Ventura County Fusion. That's capstv.org. Both teams really waiting to see what happens next instead of forcing what happens next, and Ventura County are fine doing that. little more than 20 minutes remain. And now Chongo clearly through. Chongo with just the goalie to beat. Pressure from behind, rounds the goalkeeper, but punched away nicely. Goalie's all the way out. Chongo was hauled down. Free kick will be given. That was another strange maneuver from Jesus Guzman. Boy, he has been a busy gentleman today. Free kick from a dangerous spot. Kennedy will be disappointed that one of the center backs, I want to say it was Silva, the substitute, caught up to him. Kennedy did have his mind made up, had the right plan in place. Went right around the goalie. And we rarely say this, but just didn't have enough pace to close it out. Still a great run from Kennedy Chongo. And now Jordan Vale. Well placed. Wow, Ventura made a great run, and it earns Fusion a corner in the 68th minute. Trying to resume that consistent pressure that they built up. You're hearing it from the crowd a little bit here. Getting involved in this home opener. Left footer, again Kiffy, well placed. Guzman punches once, and Jordan Vale just wasn't tall enough to get to that.
If he doesn't have any, it's fine.
And now Quakes will try and turn the tables. Nice ball forward. Carranza plays that back to the near side. Well hit. And they did a nice job, did San Jose. Gabriel Silveira, again the left back who we expected to bomb forward throughout the contest. Been involved going ahead very little. Where has that been all game from Silveira? Pushed out of play, and Chongo will basically have earned the throw-in. I'm not sure if he's going to take the throw-in. No, that honor goes to Colby. Chongo, hints of a handball. Chongo tries a diagonal ball for LaGrassa, and Guzman is there. Palacios. Kiffy taken down, nothing given. A fine deflection to Luke Brubaker. And now Brubaker is leading a number of Quakes players pushing forward. And a bad foul coming, and I believe Kiffy will be going into the book. Yeah, he will. He just came in pretty late on that challenge, and in the 70th minute, great opportunity for San Jose. 30 yards out, almost on the dot as the goal sits 8 yards into the end zone. Too far for a direct attempt. So instead, Silveira, a left-footed right back, will set things up. Silveira driven and driven wide. Dangerous free kick. Fusion looked ill-prepared. Change coming for the Ventura County Fusion. Coming off, as we anticipated at some point, number 14, Matt LaGrassa, and coming on, the local boy for Matt LaGrassa, Michael Roman, the former Rio Mesa star who, well, in some ways you can say he led Rio Mesa to a CIF championship. He was the star on the team at the time, but he was injured during their famous playoff run. And Roman now on. Over the head of Kiffy. Blasted down the field. I think that's the way San Jose needs to go. The Quakes just need to be a little more direct. Can help them really force the issue here. Tough run for San Jose to start this game. 7 p.m. contest tonight in Ventura. And then I'm not completely hip to their travel plans, but I'm guessing they drive down to Orange County in the morning. They play the OC Padiadores Blues at 5 p.m. It's a killer kickoff time, which Fusion played last week.
No, there he is.
It would be tough to walk away from the opening 2 matches without anything, although playing 2 matches literally in 24 hours. The second game complete at the time this one kicked off. That's a difficult challenge. But hey, they're new to the league. They should have those challenging runs. Back heel from Chongo, but to no one in particular. And as we stride into the 73rd minute, it's still 1-0. I'm happy.
No Skittles?
Fusion can't feel like they've done enough, obviously. They'd like a second. But a game that they've mightily controlled, they've been unable to close things out. Just 1 goal. If you look at it in this sense, just 1 goal in the Premier Development League as a whole in more than 160 minutes of play. And that's not necessarily what this team wants to do, but I think they feel like they're very much just sort of on cruise control. Here's Gustavo Silva. Silva descended in. Headed away right on the edge of the area. Here's Palacios. Now Michael Roman. Kiffy. Off to Tony Alfaro. Left side, Javantori. First touch from Torre, too strong. This Quakes group actually plays their first 4 on the road and then 4 straight at home. They're playing at Cal State Stanislaus. Then they go to Chukchansi before hosting Missioneros, and then play 4 games in the span of 11 days to close the year. Fusion actually make the trip up to San Jose 4th of July weekend, on the 5th to be exact. That's a trip for Fusion, obviously, to head to Fuego on the 3rd. Play at Chukchansi then. And here's Chongo. Chongo, space in the area. Chongo to make it 2, and it's saved. Guzman with a big hand. Chongo was sure he would have confirmed the victory. And I guess a quarter hour out, not full confirmation, but that would have been a nice advantage to make it 2-0 Fusion. They've just let so many chances go begging in this match. Taken short. Here's Jordan Vale. Vale shoved off the ball. And it'll go for a goal kick. Brilliant opportunity from Chongo, and he just couldn't close it out. Guzman's had a nice match. Chongo again pokes it into the goalkeeper this time. And again, Guzman is there. He's been aggressive. He's really chasing down any Fusion opportunities. And so far, it's worked. That's what we saw from the Aguiluchos goalie the other night in the U.S. Open Cup. Need I remind you, the Ventura County Fusion becoming the first PDL team to win an Open Cup match in 4 straight years. Something we're quite proud of, and all looking forward to the trip to Sacramento. Long throw, an awkward header from Kiffy. He did his best to get under it.
I can almost imagine the pain. I don't know.
Hasn't been the show that Fusion hoped to put on, although in a lot of ways they've been extremely impressive. The way they've controlled the game, the way they've limited opportunities extensively for their opponents, really over the last 2 entire home matches. Beautiful move to Colby. Nice cutback from Kip. Off to Chongo. Kennedy has a hit, and it's saved. Jesus Guzman striding to his right, and Kennedy's left-footed curling shot just didn't have enough on it. Boy, he has just added such a cutting edge since he came on in this second half. 78th minute now, mind you. Pleasure to have you with us here as we're just about a dozen minutes from time. Dozen minutes till the end of regular time. My name is Danny Page, and this is Fusion TV. Highlights from our Open Cup match against Agualuchos. We'll have this full broadcast posted this evening as well. And plenty of coverage of our trip to Sacramento as Fusion take on Sac Republic. Still on his feet and a great opportunity to equalize. Played across, Brubaker! And Brubaker slices it over the top. Fusion fans sarcastically hold both arms up over the top of their head as if to say, it's good, but this isn't a field goal in American football. This is football, and it remains 1-0.
I'd like to see them score field goal from the 40. That would be impressive. The soccer players. Really?
The goalie? What about a goalie? Yeah, he just went to the other 40.
Here's Roman trying to turn. Michael Roman hasn't really been able to get involved in the action much. Good substitution, young legs, just graduated from Louisville. Played soccer there. Palacios could have hit him, and now Palacios does look to find him, but the pass is far too strong. Peter Gregory's off to my right, warming up. I think we'll see Peter come on. And with the game, again, it's still in a bit of a lull, which that's fine for Fusion. Really need to walk away with 3 points tonight, especially when you consider how much they've controlled this game. But Fusion forced to cover. Kashmir running to his right. Nice cross, wide open, and it's in! The Quakes equalize out of nothing in the 80th minute. Their best opportunity of the match, and it's 1-1. Absolutely unmarked Matt Sheldon, and San Jose has tied this up. Really an outstanding cross, and Sheldon did well to hammer home his opportunity. Fusion unable to take care of the opportunities they needed to make this 2-3-0. And a bad foul coming in. And I think the Quakes will be reduced to 10, and they are. Nicholas Kashmir sent off a tackle from behind, and the trainers are coming out to look at a member of the Fusion who's writhing on the ground, Augustine Casares. And this game has taken yet another turn. What a frenetic couple minutes. And it looks like Casares is okay, or is he heading over to the bench and Fusion are making a change? he's going to stay on. You have to think Peter Gregory will come on soon. Fusion with a free kick now. Now they must score to take all 3 points in a match during which they've been far superior. Here's Alfaro, and Guzman is there. Wow, you think back at those missed opportunities, really. Could San Jose push forward despite being down a man and taking advantage? Seems so unlikely. Kenny Guyer clears that away.
I can't have spoon.
Yeah, but there's like no more juice.
I know.
San Jose reduced to 10. How will it change the way this game concludes?
Do you hear these words that come out of your mouth?
Should say to the mic, make some juice big.
What? You don't say that. That doesn't even compare to some of this stuff you've done. Yeah, like
Fusion would walk away from this if they did have just 1 point, especially it's a home match. They would be incredibly, incredibly disappointed. Still plenty of time to go on and win this, especially up a man. Here's Palacios, nice spin from Palacios. Kiffy hits that back to Cazares. And the Quakes will look to counter. Played out wide to the right. Matt Sheldon, who headed home well.
If they wanted to score that, they had to turn on the heat. He was running for
Fusion still with a couple changes they could make, and they have elected not to up to this point.
Did you like put a whole bunch of juice on yours? Because you don't use like a whole down there.
And a foul called and a free kick coming for San Jose. Wow, how this game has turned around so quickly. The last 6 minutes have really just been
Are you kidding me? There's nothing.
incredibly dramatic.
This is like
Kashmir scoring in 79th, excuse me, Sheldon scoring in the 79th, who's also on a yellow card, by the way. And then Kashmir just a minute later sent off. Quakes reduced to 10, but it won't matter as much on this set piece.
oh, there's ice in my shoe. Uh-oh.
And the free kick teased in. Torrey clears. Headed back to the center. And Trey Mitchell will have a free kick on the offside call. Substitution coming for the Quakes.
What happened?
I didn't know there was something like that.
So Gabriel Golston's the change.
You don't want it.
He comes on for a substitute, actually.
He's somewhere
Daniel Kaczynski in for Chongo. Guzman has to retreat back inside of his own penalty area, and that allows him to scoop the ball up. Kiffy. Soft ball. Not enough on it. 86th minute now. And Peter Gregory is getting instructions to go in. He scored the winning goal the other night. Can he do it again here? Here's Devontae DeBose, the right back. Nice push forward, and Gregory's ready to come on. Will he save Fusion tonight? As we continue on here into the 86th minute. I think the throw-in, I'm sorry, not free kick. I think the throw-in will come before the substitution. Nope, actually they're going to let Fusion make a change. Kiffy comes off. Gregory comes on. Has a hurt right wrist, but he puts the captain's armband around it, and in the 87th, away we go. Long throw in. Tony Alfaro gets it away. And Ball's pinged back in the other direction. Hit way down the field for Chongo, who's really holding the number 9 role. Will Gregory get his first touch? Headed beyond him, as the clock now seems to be flying by in the 60s and 70s of this game, if you will. Just was dragging so much, and now Fusion eyeing their final opportunity to take all 3 points, having to come from behind in a game that they led for more than an hour. And there's a foul from Augustine Cazares, and he'll go into the book. Referee wants to have a bit of a chat with him. So it would really be a frustrating result in the scope of things for Fusion on the season. A loss in the opening match, and then to lead for 67 minutes and not come away winners. Frustrating. Let's see what Fusion and company can get going here. Chongo was breaking down the center, but they just couldn't find him. Now back to Kennedy. Handball called, free kick Fusion. Probably needs to be taken quickly. I would imagine there's 4 minutes of added time coming, somewhere in that neighborhood. It is taken quickly. Here's Jordan Vale. Vale to Colvey. Kip Colvey could hit Peter Gregory. Crosses. Chongo's header! Oh, and it's deflected out, and Gregory will wait till it comes for a corner. Hits the corner flag and ends up being a throw-in. 89th minute now. Chongo looked like he had a nice chance to win that header. Palacios, and punched away. Quakes scored, and then we're reduced to 10. Just like that, within the matter of a couple minutes. And that long ball collected by the goalie Guzman. Chongo provides some pressure, and Guzman blasts that one downfield. 80 seconds of regular time remaining. The Quakes hitting on the counter, snake biting this Ventura County Fusion team. And the aftershock, if you will, was the terrible studs up, come from behind tackle, Nicholas Kashmir, that earned him a sending off. But nonetheless, Quakes could claim a point, or Brubaker with it now. Could they claim 3? And it's wide. It would have been another, as we said the other night, calamitous mistake at the back. And if Fusion had gone from 1-0 up to 2-1 down that quickly, yikes. 30 seconds left in this 1-1 match. Here's Colvey trying to get Gregory involved. Off to Cazares. Kenny Guyer to Alfaro. Fusion with a couple more opportunities to claim all 3. Here's Cazares. Chongo comes through for him. Referee electing not to play advantage, and Cazares hammered again.
So you don't go like this.
How many times will he be taken down? And a key free kick as Fusion's taller, more powerful players move forward. I see Javentori and Alfaro.
No, do it on your side. Don't blame me for it.
Watch out. Okay, drink that. Just that stuff. Don't drink
Free
that.
kick is short,
Thank you. Isn't it
quite short. Sent back in again.
I mean, like, eat it. Really?
Nice cross. Chongo just can't reach it. Oh, that could have been it. Fusion out searching for a would-be game winner, and it is proving elusive so far.
Let's stop it. Time for the stop it.
Alfaro, header forward. Can Gregory win it? No, nice job defensively. Only 2 minutes of added time, and we're nearly off to the end of that. Especially with the injury. Quite surprising figure.
Really?
And now a free kick for Quakes, and they will take their sweet time. Well, it would be a disappointing result, but it's quite early in the season, especially when Ventura County are chasing a championship, or at least championship run on multiple levels, with the U.S. Open Cup coming up on Wednesday. And a U.S. Open Cup game last Wednesday. It's a little difficult to have these fixtures stacked together like this. Alfaro wins the header. Can Fusion create one last attempt on goal? Alfaro hurries and takes it. Here's Kenny Guyer. Over to Colby. Nice 1-2 with Jordan Vale. Here's Chongo, plays it through. Chongo working to his left, cleared away. Ref checks his watch, and that's full time. A late goal from the San Jose Earthquakes earns them a draw. Fusion lead for 68 minutes and can't close out the match. Quakes ended up with 10 at the same time. Fusion fans walking away a bit frustrated with the result tonight. No less, we saw some flashes of what this team can do, their strength in possession, their ability to dominate sections of a game, but 1-0 leads are incredibly precarious, and tonight Fusion were made to pay. A great performance, no less, from this entire franchise, really, and the boys on the field got it done and came away with the first point of the season. A long year ahead. The Fusion return home on the 24th of May and then play another home match again on May 31st. We hope you'll join us here at the VC Sportsplex for any or both or all of our remaining 6 home league matches. Tired legs out there for Fusion as they will play in the U.S. Open Cup for the second week, running on Wednesday, May 14th, a trip up to Sacramento Republic. Fusion TV will have full coverage of that match. A final in the Southwest Division, though. Ventura County Fusion 1, San Jose Earthquakes PDL 1. It is a draw. The points are shared. For our entire team, the whole Caps TV crew, big thanks to everyone that played a part in tonight's broadcast. My name is Danny Page. We will see you next time, and make sure to stick with Fusion TV for an archive version of this broadcast and plenty more coverage of the Fusion this season. It's all over as Fusion get their first point in the league of the season. Fusion 1, Quakes 1. Good night.